You know that feeling when you finally stop? You've turned off your laptop, you're probably unwinding on the couch, you've set aside the time, and yet something inside you is still going at full speed. Your body is completely still, but your thumb is scrolling. Your eyes are heavy, but your brain is processing a stream of videos, emails, and notifications. Your breath is shallow, and somewhere underneath it all, you have a soft nudge that you need to rest. If that's where you find yourself today, it makes complete sense. Your nervous system is just responding to an overstimulated world. Hi there, I'm Cynthia, and this is Ignite and Flow, a space for deep rest and nervous system healing. Today, we're going to have an honest, much needed conversation about why rest doesn't feel like rest anymore. You've carved out the time, you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and yet when you pause, everything still feels unsettled, alert, or incredibly heavy. The truth is, we live in a world that has fundamentally broken our definition of what it means to pause. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on why this happens, look at how modern culture has weaponized our downtime, and explore how to rebuild a genuine sense of safety in your body. And at the end, we'll finish with a short non sleep, deep rest, or NSDR practice. Before we do anything else, let's take a collective breath together. You don't need to change your posture right now. Just allow yourself to arrive exactly as you are. Take a slow, gentle breath in through your nose and sigh it out through the mouth. One more time, breathing in and exhaling softly, letting your chest soften. Let's start by looking at what society looks like right now. We live in an optimization culture. We are told to track our sleep scores, optimize our morning routines, and check off self care boxes. But so often, the unspoken rule is that we're only resting so that we can be more productive tomorrow. Rest has been commercialized into a luxury item or productivity hack. Because of this, we've unconsciously turned to what feels like a biologically fake rest. We think that changing our active output from working to consuming counts as recovery. But there's a massive difference between stopping and recovering. Stopping is simply when the external activity pauses. Recovery is the actual biological process where your nervous system flips the switch from stress mode into repair mode so that your body can rebuild your nervous system capacity. Think of it this way: you can lie perfectly still on the couch after a busy day at work, but if you're still mentally replaying your to do list or scrolling through a feed, your brain keeps firing threat signals. Your body doesn't know you're safe on the sofa, it thinks you're still sitting at your desk dealing with the pressure. True recovery only starts when those stress hormones finally drop, allowing your system to get the biological green light to rebuild. That is exactly why you can rest all weekend and still wake up exhausted on Monday. Your body stopped, but it never actually recovered. Let's look closely at what your body might actually be doing when you think you're resting and why our modern environment makes it so difficult to downshift. The first reality is that our downtime is completely saturated with digital noise. We constantly swap professional stress for high dopamine digital consumption. When you scroll through social media, watch intense shows, or catch up on the news to unwind, your muscles might be still, but your brain is working overtime to process a flood of data, light, and hidden emotional triggers. Your body cannot enter a true recovery state while it's constantly being hyperstimulated. Then there's the hidden performance aspect, which triggers a relentless guilt loop. You set aside time to relax, but then you spend that time criticizing yourself for being unproductive or worrying that you haven't earned it. If you're lying in bed, stressed out about your sleep tracker data, you've turned rest into space for self criticism. Guilt activates your body's stress pathways. You cannot force a nervous system to heal by threatening it with a checklist. And finally, we constantly confuse crashing with recovering. When you've been running on adrenaline and cortisol for weeks just to keep up with the pace of modern life, you'll eventually collapse into bed or onto the couch. But collapsing is not the same as recovering. A crash is your system forcing you to stop because it has literally run out of fuel. Recovery, on the other hand, is an active process of restoration. And here's the vital distinction: recovery requires a baseline of felt safety. If your system still feels threatened by your to do list or societal expectations, A crash will leave you feeling just as depleted as before. So, how do we begin to fix this? How do we reclaim our downtime from a culture that has weaponized it? If rest hasn't felt restful for a long time, the shift isn't about finding a new productivity hack or forcing yourself into a rigid routine. It's actually about unlearning the pressure we've been swimming in. Think about how much time we give to everything else in our day. We lend hours to our work, our phones, and our endless responsibilities, but the moment we try to pause, a quiet panic kicks in. Because modern culture heavily equates our worth with constant productivity, pausing can feel incredibly uncomfortable. It can trigger a wave of internal anxiety or guilt. If you want to fix how you rest, you have to start by giving your system a realistic window to slow down. Expecting your mind to drop into deep peace instantly is like slamming on the brakes at 100k an hour. It jolts your system. Give yourself a gentle runway. A structured 15 to 20-minute practice is a beautiful starting point. It's long enough to let that initial mental chatter settle, giving your baseline stress hormones a chance to start dipping. But it's short enough that it doesn't feel like a demanding chore or a time commitment you have to stress about scheduling. During those 15 to 20 minutes, the goal is simply to protect your brain from new inputs. We live in a world of constant digital consumption, so real recovery means creating a literal data blackout. It's about putting the phone in another room, closing the browser tabs, and intentionally cutting off the stream of information. You are giving your mind a rare quiet pocket where it doesn't have to process, react, or respond to a single thing. And as you settle in, you might need to gently remind your body that it's safe to step off the wheel. It sounds simple, right? But telling yourself the world will keep turning while I take these 15 minutes, I don't have to earn this right now, can be incredibly powerful. When you're used to that hyperstimulation of modern society, stepping out of the loop is going to feel strange at first. The quiet might even feel a little restless in the beginning because your body's so accustomed to running hot. But over time, creating these quiet, uninterrupted boundaries teaches your body that it's okay to let go. And that is exactly when rest finally starts to feel like rest again. We're going to move into a short practice now if it's safe for you to do so. I want you to view these next few minutes as a quiet rebellion against the demands of the modern world. No data to process, no screens to scan, no goals to optimize. I'm going to dim the visuals completely if you're watching this on video so that you can close your eyes or soften your gaze without any digital distractions on your screen. So get comfortable, whether you're lying down or leaning back. Give your system permission to experience what true unfiltered recovery feels like. Find a comfortable position now, whether you're lying on your bed, your couch, or yoga mat. Allow yourself to fully settle into the support beneath you. Take a slow, gentle breath in through the nose and let it out with a heavy sigh through the mouth. One more time, breathe in deeply and exhale softly, releasing just a fraction of the mental weight you've been carrying. Now, allow your breath to find its own natural, unforced rhythm. Your body knows exactly how to breathe without your help. Bring your awareness to the physical places where your body is held, the back of your head, your shoulders, your back, your hips, the backs of your legs, your heels. Feel the solid surface beneath you entirely receiving your weight. You don't have to hold yourself up right now. You are allowed to be fully supported. Gently notice your jaw without forcing it to open. Just see if the muscles they can soften even by 1%. Bring your awareness to your shoulders if they have been unconsciously raised or braced against the day. Let them drop down away from your ears. Soften the tiny muscles around your eyes. Let your forehead become smooth. And as you rest here, completely untethered from the demands of the day, I want to offer a few simple truths you can repeat silently if they feel supportive. I am safe to pause. I am deserving of rest. My body is allowed to let go. I'm completely safe in this moment. I'm safe to pause. I'm deserving of rest. My body's allowed to let go. I'm completely safe in this moment. Feel the gentle rise of the inhale arriving. Feel the natural fall of the exhale leaving. And with every single exhale, imagine your body becoming just a little bit heavier, melting deeper into the surface beneath you. Just witness and allow. For the next few moments, rest here in stillness and in the quiet. Now, gently begin to bring your awareness back to the room around you. Notice the solid surface beneath your body. Tune back into the easy, natural rhythm of your breath. When you feel ready, begin to bring some small movement back by wiggling your fingers and your toes. You might want to gently circle your wrists or your ankles. Before you open your eyes, just check in and notice if there's even the smallest sense of space inside of you. It doesn't have to be grand, just a little more room to breathe. And when you're ready, you can softly open your eyes. Thank you so much for sharing this time and choosing to pause with me today. If you take just one thing away from our conversation, let it be this. The fact that rest doesn't feel restful right now is simply information. It's your body letting you know that it's exhausted from processing a hyper-stimulated world and it needs an intentional quiet boundary before it can fully receive the recovery you're offering. You're not failing at rest, you're simply learning how to step out of survival mode. If this perspective resonated with you, I would love to hear from you. What does rest actually feel like in your body right now? And after today, what is one small way you can create a quiet boundary for your next pause? And if you're looking for ongoing support to help unplug from the noise and reclaim a genuine sense of calm, you can take the Ignite and Flow 3-day calm reset that's linked in the description and show notes below. Until next time, I wish you so much peace, so much love, and so much ease. Bye.